everyone follows the same path, and it looks something like this. You get really fed up with your job, and one day you decide it's time, and maybe you come up with an idea to start a business. And here's what normally happens after. People get really pumped about their future. They start imagining it and they start seeing it. It's possible. From that point on, people normally would go on internet, let's say on the YouTube, and they would start looking for more information. They would do their research. Now, the world has been designed and built for and by the average. Okay, so everything around us is specifically designed so the average person can operate freely and comfortably. What you're trying to achieve, or what you with your spark and the motivation to open a business and quit your job and change your life, this is the moment out of the average. What normally happens for most people when they go back to do the research and they just get into more information and they just need to have more content and just get the reassurance, they, without even understanding it, they're slipping it back down to the average. Yeah, so from the very high up point where you just got, I don't know, the universe has just given you this one chance, right? That you've got this amazing idea and the energy, burst of energy. If you would stay there, if you know how to sustain that energy at very high levels, you would very likely succeed. But instead, you're sliding back to the average. And normally, most people would quit within the next, it happens in my observation within 90 days. Within 3 months, people quit. Whatever that is, a gym, body transformation, New Year resolution, opening a business, changing a job, whatever that is. 3 months, if they don't see results, they quit. And they don't see results because they move back into the average. So here's how you can deal with it and maintain your high level energy. But it's not only energy, it's more about inspiration, because you get inspired at some point, either by being so fed up with your current life. And, it's like with somebody with an addiction, when they say like, you can't help anyone until they're ready to be helped and until they're really at the bottom. And only then, if they're ready for a change, you can help them. It's very much similar with our lives. If we get fed up with our jobs, it's not just enough to be fed up and I hate the job. Like everyone hates their jobs, like we know most people. But when you get to that point where you're really fed up and things really breaking apart, you can't go any further and you want to change, and that spark, that idea comes, that energy boost to do it now or never. That's how you change your life. And this, let me tell you how to maintain that energy and to maybe finally change your life, because it's super doable, really. In my opinion, the only way for you to win is going to be to break the rules. And what I mean by that is obviously not doing anything illegal, nothing like that, right? It's more, if you decided to step out of the average, you have to break rules in order to stay there. As I mentioned just before, the world is designed and built for and by the average. And if you don't understand this, it's hard to see it. But now I told you this, it's going to be hard for you not to see it anymore and moving forward. The way you go, with the way you work, the colleagues you have around you, the conversation you're having, they're very average. And people are very comfortable that way. When you get this spark, the boost, the time for you, the gift from the universe telling you now is your time. If you start talking about it with your friends or your colleagues or your family, they will try to put you back down to their level, because that's where they're comfortable. Your high energy and crazy idea about changing your life will sound exactly like that. Crazy for them. So your closest friends and family, they will try to protect you by bringing it down. They will tell you it's a great, but maybe it's too risky, or maybe not yet, or prepare, or have you thought about this? Have you studied? Maybe go to university and get diploma in business or some other nonsense. And your work colleagues most likely will laugh at you and they will ridicule you and they say, yeah, you will quit and you'll be back 6 months later. That's exactly what happened with me when I quit my last job, which was in 2016. The last job I quit, I was told I'll be back in 6 months by my work colleagues. It's now been nearly 10 years. And yes, I never went back. By breaking rules, you will suddenly put yourself in a position where you will feel attacked. And this is another reason for most people to decide to give up their hopes and the dreams for a change. And again, it doesn't have to be a business, but it can be even a body transformation. Yeah. Or for immigrants like myself, people would love to immigrate, come to a new country. And they tell everyone, they start preparing and they get into this, somebody will implement a thought in their mind saying like, oh, maybe it's not good. And your brain will start repeating it. And then you just basically give up because it sounds scary. So the way to break the rules would be to do the opposite of what others tell you. And this even goes to lots of internet gurus and people on YouTube like me now telling you what might be this solution, especially from people who never run a businesses or never done this big change. And I went from nothing, £200 and an immigrant, I was even homeless for a moment, for a few weeks or months, to just running successful businesses, making millions of pounds in revenue, selling to successful businesses. So I can tell you from my experience what worked and how I see it looking back. To break the rule, or let's say this way, the rule you would be told, for example, let's say you want to open a coffee shop and your work colleagues would laugh at you and then they would tell you, oh, have you thought about this? Have you checked this? How much are you going to make it? What's the margin? What's the numbers? Have you done a business plan? With the usual, this is the average advice. This is nothing special about this. If you understand that every single one of us goes through that every now and then in our lives about this idea of changing our lives, opening a business, and this is nothing special. The only special thing is to sustain it and stay there long enough to actually succeed. Then you understand that a business plan, a talk to professional, make all the secure pre-plans, after plan, and all of it. It's actually putting you down, and it in your head, it's telling you that you're probably not going to succeed, and then you're going to start believing in it sooner and you basically give up. So to break that rule, you would have to do the opposite. Rather than going and building a business plan as your average work colleague would advise you, and guarantee, ask your colleagues what they would do. That's what exactly what they do. They're going to say they would look into a professional business plan. You would, for example, choose the location for your coffee shop, and rather than going to YouTube, looking at how to run coffee shop or what's the troubles with coffee shop, how much money you make, all this, again, that's the average advice, which will take you nowhere. You would rather then go to that place, location of your future coffee shop, and stay there, like go there for every day, every week, in the morning, because I think that's the coffee hours, right? Coffee is sold early morning, normally before lunch. And you would spend, stay in that area for another 2, 3, 4 hours every day for a week at least, watching your future customers, looking at their behavior, looking, what time is the busiest time? Is there another coffee shop in the area? Is there another place the customers like to go? Maybe your future customers are too young for coffee. Maybe they're students. I don't know. I don't think students drink that many coffees, right? You would probably have more like professionals who drink coffee before work. Maybe there's a gym around, so you can implement something more healthy to your coffee shop. There are so many things around your success, future success, which none of us, people on the internet, including myself, and definitely not your colleagues from work and your family, will ever tell you. You will never read about this until you go there physically and you will observe yourself and you will figure out what is the potential way forward or the best way forward. If you follow this unpopular opinion, I didn't hear anyone talking about this, to be fair with you, you will keep building your not only high energy, but confidence in your idea, because you will actually start visualizing and not staying home and in bed and visualizing beautiful business. It's fine, but it's that the real visualization will happen when you actually will go to the place where your future coffee will be, with the customers who will be coming, getting their coffees from your shop and paying you real money. There's some magic about it. You just become part of it. You just absorb all of it. And then your brain just start working more and more. And you build your confidence in yourself and your idea, not by talking to people, not by listening more info. You don't need more information. Imagine the most people watching my channel are around my age and, between 30 and 50, I'd say, or even a bit older. And thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. We understand, most of us remember times before internet, and for all of you younger guys, imagine time when there was no internet and people were still building amazing businesses, right? There were even, I would say, I think, or it feels like there were more higher chances to be successful in business than now, because we had not enough information out there to just put ourselves out of the idea, right? To just think ourselves out of doing something. We just decided to do it. It was my first business. That's how it started back in Poland when I was a student, and I opened my streetwear shop. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I was just like, I want to do it. I want to sell it. I see people like it. I want to sell them, sneakers, shoes to teenagers. That was my idea, and everybody wanted it. So I figured, there's a business there. So if you imagine this yourself and cut yourself out of all the noise, you will do yourself way bigger favor, and you will do much better rather than consuming more to basically put yourself back. I guarantee you, if you get stuck into this consuming more, planning and preparing and listening all of it, and what happens with this, what happened with this, every single answer to all the questions, you will give up. It's not possible to be so strong mentally to actually go through all the no's your brain will be telling you, because you can have all the answers, but the more problems you write down, the more you will remember them, and the more your brain you go back to bed, you lie down, and and your brain will remind you those problems, and will analyze, and just unconsciously you'll keep building up the resentment for opening a business, and you just basically give up. Even if you're very strong mentally, you'll probably give up, because how not to if you're constantly telling yourself it's going to be hard. So if you get yourself out of all the information, all the chaos, all the noise out there, all the guru's advice, unless this is a guy who runs a coffee shop next in the area, that is your guru. That is the person you would talk to. Be a friend. Go and talk to these guys. Talk to them. Don't read about them. Talk to them, right? And then you'll find out so much more. But when you're in this place, let's say you've done this and you are now feeling that business, your energy is still high. You probably spend at least a month or two researching and doing your thing about changing your life, a real thing, not only watching videos or reading books from, I don't know, let's say no names, right? From famous entrepreneurs. You now have to make a very consciously, very hard decision, which at first feels easy. You're going to have to decide to go all in and trust the process. There's no other way. There is no, when people want to quit cigarettes and they say, oh, this year I'll try to quit cigarettes. I can guarantee you they will not quit cigarettes. Same goes to anything else in your life. If you give yourself, open door saying, I will try, I hope I will, it probably will work, or anything like this. This is how you're conditioning your brain. You're telling yourself it's probably okay if I don't make it, so maybe I just quit. Or if there will be a little bit challenges along the way, you might just quit because you think, it's okay, I'll try next time. I'll try next year. Or I've just smoked cigarette because I was stressed. If you tell yourself, I quit cigarettes now, period, never again, you just condition yourself, this is it. That's the line. You cannot cross that line. Same goes to opening a business. You have decided this coffee shop, a perfect location. These are your clients. That is it. I'm going in. No more questioning if and of and but and why. Going in and trusting the process. You will figure out as you learn, as you grow. There is no answers to anything. There are 3 decisions in life which I believe we're never ready for. We're never ready to open a business. We're never ready to get married. And we're never ready to have kids. You have to do those things and learn as you go. That's the only way. You can talk as much as you want about opening a business. Until you open a business, you will never learn how it is to run a business, and you'll never be successful. And same goes to having, being married and having kids. So I hope this video helps you. Just please remember, do not try to be consuming less if you're really serious about your next step. Laser focus on your goal. Go in, all in, and trust the process. It will work out, and you will learn along the way. You will not give up. You will learn, and you will fix all the mistakes you were worried about as you grow and as your business grows. If this video resonates with you, please leave me a like. Consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for your time. I really hope it helps, and I'll see you next time very soon. Cheers.